Welcome to this episode of the Three Left Turns podcast. We're back again. No Lil Tony, unfortunately. That man has moved to Ohio.
Ew. I didn't know that's where he was going. Gross.
Gone for the summer.
It's pretty disappointing.
Why?
Gone for the summer. Whether or not he will return remains to be seen.
It's permanent, unfortunately.
That's horrible.
Forever.
No, you're lying.
Forever?
He's lying.
I'm never going to see
He's
Tony
lying.
again?
No,
that was
the-
like the first time I ever talked to him.
I think the plan, from what I heard from him, not to dig into his personal life while he's no longer.
He
in
was
the city.
doxing people last episode, so honestly.
No,
fuck
he
it.
was just
What's his
saying that
address?
the plan wasn't specifically to return to Erie, although it's not entirely off the table.
Yeah,
Obviously.
he hates this place. And I hate this place too because, god damn it, you know what's going on? You see all these midges out?
You can't
What?
say that word
All
anymore.
these mayflies?
Okay, yeah. I was gonna bitch about that today on the podcast because I walk out of my house and 97,000 of them fly at my face and get in my hair.
Uh-huh.
It's horrible.
Thousands. It's all right.
Horrible.
They only got like a day left to live, so.
Yes, I told Rebecca, I was like, they are done for. That's why they're called mayflies.
Yeah.
They fuck off. They are all over the side of my house and
Don't
all
they know
over
it's
my car.
June?
Yeah,
There's none over where I live.
Yeah, you
It's
live
a
too far from the lake.
pain in
That's
the
why.
ass.
They're everywhere. The
You-
birds are having a field day.
Yes.
You don't live
yes.
that close to the lake.
Close enough.
I guess close enough.
He lives a
I
block
must.
further away from the lake than I do.
They are everywhere. Thousands of them. The entire, like, where my door is, just covered in them. I have
That's-
to punch my door like 4 times, and
That's
then
pretty-
they all fly away.
That's pretty fucked
And
up.
I have like 2 seconds to open my door, or else just 50 of them in my living room.
Why don't you just go through the second door?
They're down there too.
Yeah,
They're everywhere. The
everywhere.
whole side of the house is covered in fucking bugs.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
it's all right.
Drive your ass over after.
Ah.
Just take a look.
I don't even want to
You
look.
can just park your car for like 10 minutes. They'll consume
They'll cover the side of your
Maybe-
car.
Yeah, no, I'm good then.
it.
It's horrifying.
It's all
I don't
right.
need them to follow me home. Like I said, there's none where I live. I'm just like, I'm literally like, I guess it is. Oh yeah, never mind. I'm pretty far away from where you live. Just the way I'm thinking about it is because 38th is like, you know how it's connected to 12th by the Bayfront.
Yeah.
That just the length of, that drive just always feels so compressed in my head that I feel like 12th is right next to 38th, but obviously that is
Ain't.
not the case
Ain't true.
due to the numbering. So I am a few blocks off of 38th, not a few blocks off 12th,
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty far away.
I am 2 blocks from 12th Street.
4,
In what direction?
9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
God, dox him harder.
Yeah.
Even though he did say 2 blocks from 12th, but
I'm not on 8th Street, brother.
Oh. You're like next to it.
a riveting conversation. Also, speaking of Erie roads and also pissing me off, the Bayfront's going to be closed forever.
Yes.
That construction project, they're doing a big construction right downtown on the main section of the Bayfront
Yeah.
Drive.
Bayfront State.
And they said it's going to take until 2029.
Yeah.
But it's not closed. Unless they're actually
said,
closing
no,
it.
they said that they're going to close parts of it because of complications that they ran into. And so they said that they need to close it down for like a temporary part so that it can be, so that they can have a temporary reopening in 2027 or like a partial opening in 2027
Yeah.
so that it's finally done by 2029.
So don't move out of downtown. Got it.
Or just don't take the Bayfront.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't use it like at all. But
yeah, my job is right downtown. so I don't have to touch
2029 is pretty insane.
isn't that
it. Maybe
in
almost
like
30.
that they're just trying to build a roundabout to help the flow of traffic, and it's
Well,
going to take 4 years.
I saw in the like little picture that they had, there was like a little tunnel or a little under.
Yeah, an underground
pass.
bypass.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're.
They're
I was
doing a
like,
whole bunch of
I was like, why the fuck are we doing that? I thought we were just doing a roundabout.
No, there's like a roundabout, 2 underground bypasses that go on either side of it.
Imagine traffic is just still completely fucked over there.
It,
That'd be
it
so
will
neat.
be because
No,
no
I
one
don't
knows how to
think
use
so.
fucking roundabouts.
Well, no, yeah, well, like right when it opens, it will be. But I think if you give people time, because roundabouts really aren't that hard.
They
Well, I
aren't.
guess some people will just never learn, but
Those people suck. Anytime I get cut off in a roundabout, I want to commit murder.
I think roundabouts are great.
I take
They're super easy and they're good for traffic. I agree. The people driving in them make me feel things.
Dude, people. Dude, imagine a new driver, like just some poor anxious person just stuck in the inner loop of the roundabout, like with their blinker on,
Stay
trying to
there.
get over. Yeah,
Stay there.
honestly.
I'm leaving you there. Drive in a circle till you die. Figure it out. Or drive around.
Or avoid the bayfront.
when I was in, did you guys take like a driving school?
No.
I did, kinda.
I took a driving school, and the driving instructor would take you to the one roundabout that was in the town, and he would just make you go in circles for a while and then tell you to like take your exit, but he would just make you do the whole lap like 5 times. And he would go, "All right, take the 5th Street exit," or whatever it would be.
He's getting you good in Disney.
I'm just picturing like a driving instructor just like hands against the dash, just watching, and he's just like, "Okay, exit now."
It's basically
Poor
what it
student
was.
driver's just like trying to exit.
Cuts me off. I'm pissed off behind him now.
I just think it's such a goofy thing. Imagine you are somebody who's driving and you just see a student driver vehicle going around in
Looping and
circles
looping and
over and
looping.
over
Well,
and
I mean,
over again.
In order to catch that, you'd also have to be driving around over and over and over.
Not if you're like waiting.
I guess.
If you're like at the you're
you're
at
stuck.
the yield and you're waiting.
Stuck at the yield.
Because
And you're like, what is that? Why?
Why?
Oh,
I didn't have to do a roundabout when I did driving school. Actually, the first time I encountered one, I was just like, "Wow, that's really intuitive."
yeah. I know they're super good for traffic because I played a whole bunch of City Skylines once.
Dude, I wish I could play City Skylines. That has to be like one of the only games that's just too complicated for me. Like
It's so much fun.
Too complicated for you. What's complicated? Build houses, build roads, build industry.
well, no, because I want to build very, intuitive and easy, like optimized cities, and I just don't want to, figure out all the
takes
placement
it takes some time.
in tearing stuff down and restarting. Like I was watching Kyle try to play City Skylines, and he's like it's not as simple as this is where this is gonna go, because he was like,
Sure it is.
well, I have this university and I want to put the student housing over here, and it looked like it was flat, but it was going up a hill. So he goes to place like this little apartment building, and there's like this big hill because to make the flat structure they have to,
Oh yeah. So
and it just looks awful. And he's like,
auto-terraformed?
it auto
Yeah.
terraforms, and he's just like, wait, takes it down, and then he, after like 10 minutes of fiddling with it, I'm just like, just look up how to terraform on City Skylines. So he finds the tool, the big circular one.
Mhm.
And he just starts like going all over the place. Then all of a sudden, his little road is all the way up here. The land's down here. And I'm like, well, if it rains, these people are going to die. So I was like, just wipe the whole world and find like a super flat, like Minecraft-esque starting area.
Oh,
And he couldn't. So he gave up. And I was like,
I spent like
that's about the extent of how far I would go to.
I spent like 90 hours on one city in that game in like the course of a week and a half.
What?
I hyperfixate like a
How
motherfucker.
do you tunnel on 90 hours of City Skylines in 10 days?
It's called the second monitor.
Oh.
It goes crazy while you're doing something like that.
So are you a City Skyliner, Brian?
I like City Skyline,
That's
but
that's a Brian game.
It is probably a Brian game. But speaking of putting 90 hours into something in 10 days, how's Night Rain going, Sagan?
I got access to it on Thursday,
Uh-huh.
right after our last episode of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
It is Monday.
Uh-huh.
I have 37 hours. I'm on the last boss.
Wait, how does it work?
Oh, yeah, I
You're gonna
thought
have
it
to
was
explain it.
round-based.
It is. But so
I thought it was
there's-
just random.
There's 8 bosses. You pick.
Oh, I thought it was random encounters.
You pick the last boss. It is. It kind of is in like the run up to the boss. You have 2 days to clear as much of the map as you can. At the end of the second day, after the boss, you go and you fight the big boss that you picked when you started the run. And so you have to work through a list of bosses. And then you get access to the last one, and then you go and do that one.
Okay, and because I was watching Dylan play it a little bit,
Yeah.
he just kept picking like the mage character because he's like, I'm literally Frieren. And he thought it was so cool. And I saw a TikTok of the one dude, the class that turns into the giant wolf.
Yeah.
Dude, that was sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, did I send you the video?
Maybe.
I saved a video to send you. You have to
Okay.
remind me of that. But I don't get it. Is it like so it has like Fortnite zones,
Yes.
but does it have like Fortnite looting, or do you just
Yes.
pick the class and
Nah,
like
it has loot. You go through and like you kill bosses, and then they drop like a thing, and you get like a choice of loot, and it's either like weapons or.
oh, you get it from bosses. You don't like find it around the map.
You can.
You can.
No, you can. You
Can.
like there are chests you,
played?
can open. There are chests you can open.
What's the gold scar of Elden Ring Night Rain?
It depends on the character you're playing.
Okay, what's your favorite class to play?
It's between Duchess and Bird.
I think Duchess is literally Frieren.
No,
No, it's not it.
that's Recluse.
Okay. Anyways, all right. So what's the gold scar for your classes?
Anything ice daggers. Any ice daggers I can get my hands on with Duchess, I'm happy. Status effects. It depends because it all drops so randomly and so differently. Like
Okay,
you can get
that's
you
what-
can get a dagger and it's the same dagger you got last game, but it's worse.
So it is pretty varied. Like
Yeah. Like I could get like an Ash of War on a dagger that's just kind of shite, and then I don't use that.
So does every run feel like pretty unique?
It's
most
pretty
of the
different.
time.
It's pretty different. Like the map itself doesn't change too much, so you're still fighting like a lot of the same things every time you go through. But I think if the map changed too much, I would die a lot more.
Cause when it was releasing, I kept seeing all the gaming media outlets doing their rounds of reviews, and it was like a consistent 7 out of 10. But they were like citing overtuned final bosses, and I was like, I feel like that is a bit of a skill issue complaint.
It is.
Unless they're not
They're not.
overtuned.
I beat 5 of the 7 before the last boss, my first attempt to getting to them.
Okay. So yeah, when I
I-
read it, I was like, I've never played a Soulsborne game in my life, but
Boo.
I can kind of tell off the reviews, like when the complaints are like skill issue
Yeah.
complaints.
Yeah, no.
And it's usually like some bosses are too hard. The game devs overtuned this encounter.
wrong.
And it's like, I feel like every actual Soulsborne player will disagree with you.
We got a term for that.
What?
Let's get good, baby.
Where do you rank this one in terms of difficulty?
That's hard.
Based on Elden Ring, you just go off of Elden Ring. Would you say that Night Rain is a harder version of Elden Ring, or a easier, or about the same?
It depends. It depends on like how well the run's going, really. Like I've had runs where I'm like, this is hilarious and this is the easiest thing I've ever done, and then there are runs where I spent the first 15 minutes of it getting my balls slapped.
Do you feel like you have control of it, or do you
No.
just feel like RNG? See, that feels
Uh,
bad to me.
Well, so you do have control over like the routing and such,
Sure.
and then you have control. So every boss has like its own elemental weakness, and then you can see on the map which camps drop what elemental affinity
Sure.
drops.
Yeah.
So like you can target those things, and you can like route your way through the map efficiently, and then you're probably going to be okay. The main thing is efficiency and routing. Like if you know how to get places and you know which to prioritize at what point in the game, then you're gonna be fine.
And is this just sections of the actual Elden Ring map, or is it
Kind of.
new?
It's like one section with some pieces kind of strewn about, and then they do this thing called Shifting Earth, where it's like a quarter of the map will change into like one of 4 different areas that you can get, and those areas come with their own like little side objective that you can do, and if you complete that, you get like a bonus power.
Okay, and then my last question is, how does it feel with randoms as opposed to with a party?
I
full
have
party.
only beaten one Night Lord while teamed up.
Well, you're playing with, I'm assuming, our 2 friends
Yeah,
that
they're decent.
they are.
They're decent.
They sent a message right as we started recording this episode asking if you were going to be playing with them tonight.
100%.
So
I sure will be.
well,
8 o'clock after I get home from the gym,
There you
it's
go.
fucking on, baby. It's fucking on.
So you have more success with the randoms?
Yeah. Well, okay.
I did
need-
call that.
I need to
I
explain
called
this.
that. I called that when
need to
the,
explain
the
this.
concept was announced.
I was moving through content so fast compared to like other people that the people I was matchmaking with were also moving through the content at the same speed as I
They
was.
have like skill-based matchmaking, or is it just
Not really. It's
you
because
just have
we
to
were at
unlock
the
the other
start of the
bosses?
game. Yeah.
Okay.
So like I was clearing things and being put into lobbies with people who were also clearing the stuff. So
Okay.
I was in lobbies that had people in it who could beat the bosses. So and knew the map and knew how to like run around it and move efficiently.
See, I did figure. I don't remember I don't remember if you remember us talking about this, but I like when it was first announced, I was like, man. At first, I was like, man, beating Elden Ring bosses with a bunch of randoms, that sounds like it could be frustrating. And I was like, no, actually, the people that are gonna play this game are gonna be people that love Soulsborne games, and so they'll probably like this isn't gonna be like random filling in Fortnite or Warzone
No.
where your teammates are just dead weight.
No.
You're gonna be playing with people that are motivated to clear your run and like know
Yeah.
the mechanics in the game pretty well.
Yeah.
So
I was a bird main for a while. I was birded the fuck up. I played the big bird dude with the shield. He was awesome. He's so sick.
I want to show you the video I found now. Some dude made some like compilation of just turning into this big ass wolf thing.
I played it last night with D and George, and every time I transformed, I went, "The beast is unleashed."
I was like, I just saw someone say that it was like very like Soulsborne like to make an edgy character that transforms into a giant.
Into a big ass werewolf
Yeah.
monster thing. It's so cool.
I feel like I'm surprised that with the amount of edge on that Devon didn't hop on.
No, Devon's playing the one with her tits out.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense.
Yep.
That's
Devon,
he's got 2
am I a
routes.
good person?
I love the game though. It's a lot of fun.
I was about to
think.
ask what is the 3 Left Turns official rating of Elden Ring?
Yeah, because my
Night Rain?
opinion's your opinion. You know that.
I don't see myself sticking with it probably as long as like Elden Ring.
The game,
But-
yeah.
All right, rate it out of 10 then.
Like 8.5, 9.
It's also a $40 game.
Yeah, that is
So-
All right, so what about value for money? Does that
10 out
change
of
your
10.
rating?
10 out of 10.
Okay, there
If
you go.
if it's value for money, oh my god, I've owned it for 4 days and I've almost hit $1 an hour.
That's
And
that's
that's
gonna
kind of-
be 2/5 of the price of the average AAA game after
Yes.
GTA 6
Correct.
releases.
It's gonna be fucked up.
So value for money. If you're a big EV, I guess EV isn't a good term for just video games. Expected value.
Oh, I was like, I only know electric vehicle. I do
also
not
was
know.
like, what?
If
Tesla?
you're a big value for money person, go buy Elden Ring Night Rain.
It's true. Not sponsored.
Sagan's seal of approval all over it.
And
I
if
like
you
it.
don't like it, Sagan will personally refund you for your purchase of.
Probably not.
And buy you a copy of GTA 6 at $100
no.
MSRP.
Listen, either I start refunding Night Rain or we get Strip Magic. Which one? I'll only do one.
We can do both with the money we raise from Strip Magic.
I did offer to buy it for George if he couldn't afford it last night.
He's
I
a
was
Costco
like,
guy now.
He is. He gave it 5 booms.
What does that mean?
You don't know about the Costco boys?
He's chopped huz.
He's chopped huz.
Oh,
I heard that in
man.
the wild
Okay, no.
after that episode.
I thought this was a story that George started shopping at Costco.
No, the double
I
chunk chocolate
understand
cookie
the Costco
and the
boys.
chicken bake.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
I
say,
do
there's no-
understand, but you just by you saying that George is now a Costco guy.
He's a
Oh
Costco.
yeah.
We're
I
the
was like, what does that
Costco
mean?
guys.
He ran into a Costco and found Big Justice, AJ, and the Rizzler, and they adopted him.
Do you know that the Rizzler's not a Costco guy technically?
No,
It's
he's
like
not because he's not
a crossover.
he's not the son of
AJ,
AJ.
right? Yeah, AJ is the dad.
AJ's dad. He's just Big Justice's friend. I actually don't know.
No, Big Justice saw a video of him and was like, "Dad, I want to meet that guy." And they made it happen, and now they're friends.
Dude, that was probably one of the best business decisions
Straight up.
that Big Justice will ever make in his entire life.
Straight up.
It was saying, I want to meet and have the Rizzler on our TikTok account.
Overnight
Although he probably
sensation.
wasn't known as the Rizzler at the time.
That's the part of it. Like, why is this child called the Rizzler?
Because he makes the Riz face.
I hate it. It's the worst. He's like 9. What is he doing?
I don't.
Oh,
He's an honorary Costco guy, not an official.
He is. He gave some booms.
Honestly, let's get George linked up with the Costco guys.
I would love that.
He would fit in.
He would.
He would.
He would so well. You can tell they're all wearing mascara. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I
Wait,
look at
really?
anytime I look at AJ, I'm like, he's wearing mascara. Look at him. He's so fabulous.
And that's okay because it's June. It's Pride Month.
Oh shit.
I was going to take this off at the beginning of the episode and I forgot, like before we even started recording. It's
Happy
Pride.
Pride.
Month.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Woo! We
well,
kiss
that-
boys.
Who
we
got you that shirt, by the way?
I've kissed every man in this room.
I think he's in this room, the guy who got me the shirt.
I did not get you that shirt.
I didn't say it was you.
Oh, did you get? Oh, hey.
I got you. You were there when I gave
was
it to
Christmas,
him.
right?
It was Christmas
Yeah,
present.
I remember that.
I got everybody silly shirts.
Silly shirts. I thought you were implying something.
Mine was the Garfield one. I remember now. Dude, today was all Monday, no Garfield.
This guy had a rough day.
No lasagna today.
No lasagna,
Just full. I hate Mondays.
just full I hate Mondays. Terrible times. I hate QuickBooks. Anyway.
I work from home on Mondays since my building's closed.
Brag about it.
Wow.
This guy's so cool.
Brian, you said you had stuff to talk about.
Speaking of the government,
Yeah, fuck them.
Greg Abbott did something good.
Texas?
Texas?
What?
They just passed a law that restricts companies from the way they can sell and advertise to minors for like apps and
Oh.
games and things like that, specifically on like your phone. So it's like very app focused or
Mm.
whatever. But yeah, it was crazy. Greg Abbott did something good, although I think it's kind of a universal popularity that maybe we shouldn't target young children for
Yeah.
credit cards.
DraftKings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it used to be smoking. The new age is gambling.
Yeah, Gamba. Goes crazy.
Well, I guess it still kind of is smoking with the vape stuff.
Jewel got put down for that. I guess like
Dude, there's so many
Are there?
puff bars and,
I just
and
don't.
stuff like that, and
I'm chopped huzz. I don't pay attention to
there's still so many disposable.
the things.
I
I knew about Puff
vapes.
Bar.
I don't know all of them by name, by brand. I just know that I think the biggest one
That's
is
not
Puff
a vape.
Bar.
That's a nape.
A nape.
Nape.
I don't like that.
vape.
Not vape.
It's a
Vape.
fake vape.
What's
But,
better, vape or nape?
I don't.
Both of them are kind of equally
I was
terrible.
gonna say I don't know if I'll take either of those.
Ugh.
But yeah. So the Greg Abbott story is kind of interesting. It's not really Greg Abbott. It was the
Yeah.
Texas legislature, but he passed it, and
Yeah.
that's what kind of the news was. But yeah, specifically they said that it was about passing a law stating that companies have to restrict app purchases and downloads for minors. So who knows if it actually goes anywhere? Who knows what sort of enforcement happens?
Yeah. What
But
kind of enforcement can like you can pull like advertisements and stuff like that.
it'll probably just result in fines, very large fines for companies that do it. But I wanted to say, whenever you were talking about gambling, I was very surprised during last year's NFL season. It's the first time I'd ever really noticed it. But normally in the morning, pre-games, there's like sports shows in the morning that talk about all the sports, you know? They're all sponsored by DraftKings, and they're all sponsored by
Yeah.
MGM Bet or whatever, BetMGM, and all those gambling sites. And I think it's insane that they just have, and like they'll do sports coverage, and then they'll do 35 minutes of advertising about gambling on their app, and they'll talk about the new gambling game that they've come up with. It drives
Oh
me
yeah,
crazy.
and they have the analysts. They have them like they'll do their
yeah,
like sponsored parlays, and
yeah,
like if you want to tail, if you like an analyst will be like, if you want to tail me on this, like here's my parlay, and now let's talk about it and why it's so feasible and why it's definitely gonna hit. It's really bad.
That's evil.
Yeah, I mean,
That might be evil.
and then they will give you like live odds like during the runs of the games, and
It's like one of the most deadly addictions you can have.
it's very deeply entrenched in all areas of sports coverage, from like the talk shows about sports to actually watching the game. In the little info bar on the
Yeah.
bottom that's like
all the things around the field.
minus 100 live odds to score a touchdown on this drive. Use code blah 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 for 200 free credits if you sign up right now.
Yuck.
and that's what Greg Abbott is trying to stop. No, he's not.
I was gonna
Not
say.
that part.
Probably
Only
not
towards
that
kids.
part.
Big Gamba will take a lot more than that to be defeated.
Yeah.
For sure.
Speaking of Texas, the CEO of someone who has a very big factory down in Texas.
You could have just said Elon Musk. You didn't
Elon
have
Musk.
to do
Oh, yeah.
a transition. I liked it though. It was very good. It was very good.
I just want to say, speaking of Texas, but anyways, yeah, Elon Musk, New York Times article about his drug abuse during the Trump campaign has come out. The man was pissing himself. He was pissing himself
Oh no.
due to his ketamine addiction.
Elon's K-hole sounds like the worst porn parody of the election I've ever heard of.
I mean, it's just him, you know, being absolutely blitzed off ketamine and then pissing himself when the camera's not on him. And everybody's just like, the fuck.
What the
I
fuck?
missed the story about the black eye. What is the story about Elon Musk? He had that interview in the White House, or he was in the White House, and there's like he has a black eye.
I
People were talking about.
No, but we don't
Speaking
know
of
about
betting, people were betting on who was the one that punched Elon Musk
No
in the face.
way.
No,
No
not
way.
actually,
Oh,
just
okay.
like in jest. But
It was probably his son. Didn't he say it was his son?
I hope it was. His
I think
son.
they said he was roughhousing with his 5-year-old son.
I mean, I guess if his skin is very brittle and he's like anemic from
all the
all
ketamine.
of his drugs, I don't see how. Because we're assuming it's. Well, would it be X or?
I hope it was a flight attendant.
Probably.
There's no way X is strong enough to give a grown man a black eye.
Is that his name? It's X.
It's like XAE dash.
It's that
12.
that
I thought you
guy?
meant Twitter. That's what I thought you meant when you said X.
No, his son's name is like.
yeah.
You remember?
He's like an attack helicopter.
I thought it
or
was
something.
pronounced Kyle.
That's what they say, but
That's the worst. I hate that guy.
but yeah. Anyways, ketamine, magic mushrooms, ecstasy,
Adderall
Adderall.
that he carried around in a little drug purse.
He had a drug purse with like 20 different pills and I guess some shrooms.
Listen,
Would you just reach into the bag and grab like a random one? Would you play
Yeah.
drug lottery?
only if you bet on DraftKings on what I pull out.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
But yeah, that man had a lot of access in the government for a couple months there. So
That's where your Medicaid went, baby. Straight down Elon's K-hole.
The big, beautiful spending bill, unfortunately.
which he actually was a critic of, interestingly enough.
Was he?
He said,
Musk?
well, he's like
That's the best
he's like
endorsement
I
it can
believe a bill can be big, a bill can be beautiful, but it can't be both. He said it was like undermining a lot of the work that Doge was doing or something
I think
like
he's
that.
projecting.
I don't know. They're obviously in a bit of a tiff.
I think
Musk and Trump.
I think what I saw from that was he was complaining that it was taking away Doge's work and just putting it in a bill, so it was like bypassing them. So basically, it was
Ah.
preventing him from getting his government contracts because it was just going to go straight through. And he's still going to get millions and billions of dollars, I'm sure, but
I hate the way the government works, man.
it's pretty silly.
It pisses me off. Just gonna like rip people off of healthcare because we can, I guess.
Department of Government Efficiency.
I guess. It's fucking stupid. We have infinite money for infinite bombs, but no money for. I hate it. I can't think about this for too long, or I'm
It's
gonna
like-
tweak.
I've seen
It's kind of the
multiple
point behind the
videos
podcast.
I know.
of like Republican lawmakers like hosting a town hall, and the constituents are like, "So why did you vote yes on this bill that is gonna take away Medicaid?" And they're like,
I didn't read.
"I
that
didn't
part.
read it. I didn't read that part. Sorry."
Yeah.
And then
That-
the one
an
lady
article
was
about
like,
that
"We're
was
all
in
gonna
the-
die anyways." These are your
No!
these are your representatives and congressmen, ladies and
Ugh.
gentlemen. I didn't read that part, and we're all gonna die anyways. So why do you need Medicaid?
Holy shit! It's just like
This is
get back in the factories.
the
Get back in the factories.
yeah. It's like that when that one dude was like, "We're returning dignity to young men by putting them to work instead of letting them sit home and play video games." Go work in the factory. Don't get health care and die because we're all going to die anyways. And I didn't read that part.
I'm just gonna say I don't work like a very physically demanding job in the slightest. But I would have much rather been playing video games this morning than working on fucking QuickBooks. Much rather. Much rather. But I need fucking healthcare. So here we are.
We're all going to die anyways.
We're all gonna die anyways, I guess.
to get out of the doom that we've entered, to jump back to video games for a second, why
That was crazy.
is the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077 Cyberpunk 2?
2077 is the year.
Yeah. But that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
So why isn't it 2078? 2079?
I don't know.
2177.
Maybe it takes place during the events of Cyberpunk 2077.
Why was the 5th Battlefield game called Battlefield 1?
I don't know. I just think it's stupid.
It is stupid. Why do some video games have 9 different subtitles?
They're allowed.
I mean, I feel like it's better than Cyberpunk 2077 2.
Correct.
Don't call it that.
Cyberpunk 2. I don't like Cyberpunk 2 either, though.
It should
I
be
think
like,
that sounds gross.
yeah, like they got to do like a Cyberpunk Genesis or like
Do
some
like
weird...
Cyberpunk 2099. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
jump it a couple more years. That sounds better, even.
2099 is pretty. I'd play that game.
Right?
Probably not.
Probably.
Maybe. If it worked when it came out,
Yeah.
I'd play it.
That's old news.
Well,
No, it's a great game now.
Cyberpunk 2 is very new news, actually.
I actually didn't see that announcement.
I
Well,
also just found out about it.
about the fact that they're working on a sequel.
Well, yeah, I figured they were, but like I didn't know that it was like public knowledge at this point that they're making a 2.
All I know, I was doing some CD Projekt Red a research, and
Witcher 4, man.
they have a Witcher multiplayer game in the works.
Witcher Night Rain?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe. There's a Witcher multiplayer, Cyberpunk 2, and then they have another like project Sirius or something like that. I don't know. Some other
Working title.
Yeah, like a code name. So, but that's what I was looking into a little bit.
I like CD Projekt Red. They do good work for the most part, except for maybe Cyberpunk on release.
I was gonna say, I
but-
think the only hit they've ever really had was the release of Cyberpunk and
Yeah,
how the game just didn't work on most
yeah.
devices.
I tried playing it on my Xbox One.
That's insane.
That shit ran at like 24 frames a second. Barely.
When it was working for 3 seconds.
Yeah. Very different experience nowadays, but yeah, no, not a good launch for them. Not a good launch, especially after like The Witcher 3 was as good as it was. That game's wonderful.
Cyberpunk 2077 on the Xbox One. That just sounds hilarious.
So did the Xbox. It sounded like a jet engine. Anytime I turned it on, it was just like, it was horrible. Sorry, headphones.
I was
was
gonna
awesome.
say very
I liked it.
great listening experience there.
Hey,
I mean, I
bro,
also did yell.
this ain't
earlier,
ASMR.
so it really could be.
It's all right. I might have finally figured out the audio issue.
Oh my
I hate him
God.
so much. I hate him so much.
It doesn't help that I'm leaning on the table and it's creaking.
You're fine.
Ugh.
That part.
Was that actually like?
Yeah,
no,
I can hear it.
Really?
I can hear everything.
Don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches later.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Bro, I think I am hitting Unk status
Uh-oh.
because I have
This man-
younger coworkers at work that when I quote SpongeBob, they don't react or like know what I'm talking about.
Do they think they're cool for not reacting?
I'll be like, you know SpongeBob, right? And they're like, no, I never really watched that. I watched other stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, that was that old person show.
what? And they're like, yeah, like Gumball. And I'm like, yeah, okay,
But Gumball was around when we were kids.
that's what I'm saying.
Isn't SpongeBob still coming out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
Pretty sure.
And it's still okay. It's not like early SpongeBob, like seasons 1 through like 8 are
And you
wonderful.
keep up with modern SpongeBob?
Not really, but like I've seen episodes and they're like terrible. It hasn't been like in shitified like every other cartoon in its old age where it's
Are
like
there new voice actors yet? That's what I'm interested in.
didn't the SpongeBob voice actor die?
I think you're thinking of the creator.
I was gonna say I don't think so.
Oh,
The creator
yeah.
passed away a few years ago.
Okay. Then yeah, they're probably all still going. I think like Clancy Brown's still doing Mr. Krabs and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't watch SpongeBob.
I don't know, man. They don't.
Maybe the new SpongeBob does suck, so they just don't watch it.
Maybe
Because
I don't know, man.
It's better
But,
to watch Gumball.
like we have interns. They're like still in high school interns, like
Huh?
17, 18.
How?
They're in like tech schools, right? So
Oh.
they do like a program with us, and they come at like 1 to like 4 or something like that, and they come hang out and do some work for us.
I think Sagan is about 1 year away from a kids these days.
Straight up, straight up.
He's about to hit it.
I'm getting there.
Do you have any complaints about the kids now? Air your grievances.
Do
with
you think the
Just
kids
that
are
they
all right?
aren't all right. Yeah,
They're not.
no, I don't think so.
Why not?
Because man, they're just marching into the machine, dog. They're just. There's no hope for them. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're back to Doomsday.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I don't know. I always wanted kids. I don't want kids anymore. So
Wow.
if that tells you how I feel about the future, yeah.
I think for most of the younger people that I interact with, I think that they seem to be doing okay.
They're fine. They just don't watch SpongeBob, and I think that's fucked
Oh,
up.
okay, I understand.
I
Yep.
guess if that's
Kids
your only
these days are-
complaint, then the kids are all right.
Nah, I don't know. Just like, DraftKings and TikTok, and we're like TikTok
I think you're just jealous they're making more money than you.
probably.
The number of people now,
Do you think
like
they are?
100%. The number of people that I have met who are like, "Oh yeah, my daughter, who is 16, is making brand deals with Sephora. Like Sephora sent a makeup kit because this random kid has 170,000 followers on TikTok and they make makeup reviews. It's crazy."
This is true. I know people that.
Bro, I need to start playing video games on the internet.
Yeah.
This shit's fucked up.
Uh,
It's just techno-feudalism, but oh no, they aren't all right. They aren't all right at all.
Why not? They're influencers making
They're
money.
making money for other people,
Well,
They're
and
advocates.
they
Aren't
think
you
it's
ma-
fun.
are you not making money for other people?
No, I am, and I hate it. That's the difference. Oh no. Oh, dude, I was listening to NPR on my way home today.
Ugh.
Yeah. But no, I was listening to this story, and I was into it at first. I was like, okay, because there's this lady talking about like a toy library, right? And it's like you can donate like old toys, and then people can go and like check them out, and then you take a toy home to like your child, or your child can go to this library and check out a toy like you would at a library. And then at the very end of the piece, she goes, and she's running it like a business. It costs $65 a month, and these families can check out 4 toys at a time. And I went, I hate the world.
Ugh,
And
that's
it made
rough.
me immediately so angry.
That is tough.
I was just like, this is such a good, cool idea, and like, it was all like framed around sustainability and stuff, and I was like, this is awesome. Yeah, we should do this.
Recycling and reusing.
And then it was like, and it cost $65, and I was like, I
month.
hate you.
that's a $65
I
a
hate you.
month subscription. That's more than like phone plans.
Yeah,
Some,
it's
not all.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like, this could help like less fortunate people
Yeah.
give their fucking toys, or give toys to their children. It made me so mad. And then I had to go fucking wipe mayflies off my door. I was
Midges.
so pissed.
Call them midges and then feel joy when you
It
rub them down.
I don't want to say that word
Why?
because it sounds too close to a not good word. I don't like it.
Oh, I don't know.
But
That's
but
what
yeah.
they're called.
No, NPR got all capitalism on my feel good story, and I got mad.
And she's running it like a business.
I was so pissed. I was so pissed. It was the most like frame perfect shift in my attitude. The second I heard the word business come out, I was like, no fucking way.
That's tough.
$65 a month, you grifting bitch.
That's crazy.
Give the toys back.
Actually took your smile and flipped it.
Straight up. Straight up.
But think of her overhead.
Ah, they're donated.
Wait, they're donated toys?
I'm pretty sure. They were talking about like people donating toys and stuff like that. It made me so mad.
Donate,
so fucking
donate your
mad.
toys to me, and I'll sell them on a subscription-based service.
The
Where
toy
people don't even get to
subscription?
keep them; they have to send them back.
Yeah.
Oh, just take your $65 a month and buy your kid a fucking toy.
Straight up.
Like, you
At
piece
that
of
point,
shit.
yeah.
I hate you.
Well, hopefully they go out of business.
I hope so. Or maybe they have like a come to Jesus moment where they realize they're going to hell. And they,
I think the only pro-capitalism I have right now is a couple weeks ago we talked about the slate trucks, the smaller frame trucks,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the giant ass cars that are on the street.
yeah.
Toyota has I believe they're calling the model the Stout, and it's also a smaller framed truck. It's not like tiny by any means, but it's like a Chevy S10.
Mhm.
You can think of those. Nah, it's like a smaller truck.
I've never been able to picture a car based off of its name.
Really? At all?
Never.
Can't do that with anything?
Volkswagen Beetle.
Volkswagen Bus.
Yeah, I can do that one. Mater.
Yeah, sure, pretty much. Go with that. Go with that. I'd say it's about the size of a Mater.
I can picture Mater.
Put things in the.
That's a car I can picture off its name.
You can think of the
Lightning
Jeep
McQueen.
Sarge from Cars. You
I
think
can,
of,
yeah. He's green. He has a mustache.
Yeah.
The Hudson Hornet.
I have no idea what brand that's supposed to
Yeah.
be.
Y'all have never watched.
Of course I
No,
have.
but do
watched
you,
Cars.
you're saying, what you're saying is the name of the characters and not like the actual cars
Car,
they're modeled
yeah.
off of.
Yeah, I said I couldn't picture a car off their name. That's their name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That joke was only funny for me. I'm sorry.
That'll do, Sagan.
That'll do. But yeah, Chevy S10.
Yeah. So
Wait, is it electric or what?
I imagine that there's probably an electric
Chode or whatever it's
Stout.
What? You're just hearing what you want to hear.
I knew it was something that meant like short.
I can think of one viewer that will not be too enthused about this episode and all the video game talk that went on.
Who's that?
Is it you?
No.
You're not happy? She doesn't listen.
She does listen, and she's not going to be happy about that.
We could not. Have it
She's
there.
not going to be happy about that.
I forgot that we don't say her name because we say our partners.
She's
names
gonna.
on here.
We do?
She's gonna text me about that like immediately when she hears it.
Text you about what?
She's
The
not gonna
name
hear
drop?
anything. It's gonna be not there.
Yeah, the name drop. I'll mute it.
We can bleep it.
Just put Voldemort instead.
I was gonna say just like the less editing Brian has to do, the better.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the audio file and I'm gonna mute it and then bring it right back up.
Okay. Well, either way, now she's gonna know what it was, and she might have words for you instead of me.
About what?
She
Not
knows as
having
many
her
words
name
as she
be
wants. I will
spoken.
pick her up by her coconut ass head and throw her in the lake.
Now she's definitely not listening all the way through.
Good.
Aw, darn.
bitch.
She stopped listening at 50 minutes in. What a shame.
No, she was probably.
She
gone a
stopped
while
listening
ago.
I was
so
gonna
long
say
ago.
she
She
stopped
stopped
listening
listening
the
at
second we started talking about
Elden Ring Night Rain.
I was about 8 minutes in.
Yeah, gone. Bye.
Yeah, and I didn't bring it up.
It's true.
I didn't bring it up.
There was a challenge to see how fast we could get you onto it, though, and I got there.
It wasn't a challenge. It was a challenge about how long we could get him going about. Like,
You asked me questions. That doesn't count.
it does.
I wouldn't have talked about it. To
No,
the
it's
extent I
okay.
talked about
We
it.
wanted
No,
to.
now I'm mad.
No,
I
we
feel
wanted the
manipulated.
full review.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was happy to hear about it.
Okay.
I'm proud of you and
feel
everything that you
played.
talk about. It's enthralling to me.
And if it helps, I was genuinely those were genuine questions that I was actually curious about that I would have asked you either way.
Okay. Okay.
Like they're either going to be talked about today or on Wednesday.
It's true.
Oh no, I didn't realize.
What has happened?
It's doing the thing where it's not switching cameras.
Oh,
So I don't know how long it was on me for that.
that's okay. You're pretty. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
We got like 5 minutes left. Anything else we want to talk about?
Back to more doomsday. Greta Thunberg is receiving death threats by a
She stopped?
lot of
Yeah, I don't think
people.
she ever stopped.
I believe when I wrote it as a note in my phone, I wrote Greta Thunberg is still receiving death threats.
I mean, I heard that there were people were talking about how like the Israeli government tried to assassinate her or something because they blew up an aid boat
Yeah.
that she was
So-
supposed to be on, but just happened to not be. That was going to Gaza or something.
Yeah. So Israel is doing
You didn't hear about that?
No.
terrible things,
Obviously.
preventing aid from reaching Gaza. And when aid does get in, they use it as bait to create more war crimes.
Yep.
But everyone from Lindsey Graham to the Israeli Defense Cabinet are joking about her death.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
X.
the Israeli defense cabinet tried to kill her already.
They
so.
did also attempt to kill her. I didn't see that story specifically that she was supposed to be on that boat,
She
but
was supposed to be on the boat.
I did see all the information about the aid coming in and how she was on a boat. That was
She is on a
coming
boat
in.
now.
And everyone has been saying that and by everyone I mean the worst people in the
Yeah.
world are saying Israel could do the funniest thing, which is just the cruelest, unimaginable, terrible thing to really hammer home who's on the right side
Who's
of
on
history
the
right
right
now.
side?
Yeah, it's terrible.
There's a running joke on Twitter about never hitting translate on like whenever you hit translate.
God. Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, I think that's something that was a conversation that happened a lot, pretty much in the immediate after October 7th. That anything that was in English, why? Because it's not for
Yeah. Yeah.
Israel. Like any propaganda being put out by Israel that was in English was for
Us.
a lot of times like an American or like a Western focused world. So that, but like, why? Why are they telling these stories to the U.S. and not to their people? And because the stuff that they're saying to their people is so much worse and way more violent and way more cruel. Ugh.
Yeah, it was like people were saying never hit translate on a tweet that's like in Hebrew and then I was like, and like they'll quote the tweet that it is and you click on it and it's just like, I actually think killing all the babies in Gaza is okay. And that's just what it'll say, just straight up. Like you hit translate and it's just like, yeah.
Yuck.
It's just terrible.
Yuck.
It's worse. And finally, to bring it back to the good old U.S. and the terrible state that we're in, although maybe this isn't terrible, maybe a good note after everything we've talked about to
The Mayflies
end on.
are almost dead.
Yeah. The for the first time since 2019, there are more house sellers than there are house buyers. Has that lowered prices? Not even a little bit, but maybe, because it's pretty significant. It's around 500,000 sellers, more sellers than there are buyers.
You
right
just
now.
need Airbnb to go bankrupt.
I need all of those houses to stay on the market until March of next year when my lease is up.
Well, unfortunately, that's what the trend has not shown that the prices have gotten any cheaper, unfortunately. But potentially with the incoming global crash, that who knows if
Fingers
it'll happen.
fucking crossed. Fingers fucking crossed. Let me get in on some 2008 shit. I'm here for it.
But think of the companies in the capital they invested in real estate.
Yeah, think of all the hedge funds.
Think of them.
Think of private equity.
I can't even pretend to give a shit.
But
Think of the Airbnb owners and the landlords.
The landlords.
I think all landlords should be turned into tents.
Thank you, Chairman Mao.
Like past?
Huh?
Past? Tense?
No, like shelter.
Oh,
That was a good little play on words, though.
thanks. I'm glad you liked it.
Turn the landlords into past tense.
He doesn't
Yeah.
like it. He just wants to make them into.
Shelter.
He wants to. He
Actual
wants to
tents.
buld more homes with land
Out of
landlords.
out of landlords.
Yeah.
It's like Lincoln Logs, but.
Bones and skulls.
Oh my god. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I got no sympathy for those motherfuckers.
well, and so
Any bosses that are listening, this is absolutely a joke. Maybe. Right?
the other thing that I saw was to tag along with the significant increase in sellers over buyers is that the median home buyer age right now. You want to take a guess at what we're looking at for the median home buyer age?
44.
50.
50. Okay, and so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna probably fudge some numbers here, but I think it was in 1977. It was 33. Was the average home buyer age?
It might be. Wait, is it? It's in the 60s. I swear I saw something about this recently. I'm going to say in the 60s.
It's 54.
Oh, man, I was so close.
I was off by 10.
Man,
But-
I shouldn't have. I should just stay put.
Potentially, with all the money we make on DraftKings, we too can buy a home.
I think my soul took irreparable damage this episode.
And that's why we thank you for listening to this episode of the Three Left Turns podcast. Thank you to Community Access Media for providing our space and
Yeah.
hosting us every week so that
They're
we can
cool.
bring you doom and gloom and video game talk.
Literally.
Pretty much.
Straight up. It was just like Elden Ring is fun and the world is fucked. What an
Yeah.
episode.
It's great.
The sentence of the episode is, and she's running it like a business.
She should also be turned into shelter.
Turn her into dolls.
Skulls and bones and shit, man. Just boil them down, turn them into concrete. I don't know.
It's just keeping up with the eerie tradition of turning humans into soup.
What? What?
We'll come back and talk about
Next
that
episode.
next
What?
episode because I thought that was a common story that people knew about.
Steven and I will kiss for Pride Month.
Hell yeah.
No, Sagan's playing strip magic for Pride Month.